Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is the Way West Stand, and we're joined, as always, by Rhett Conway. Rhett, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good, yes. So last time we spoke, we are heading into games against Brighton and Newcastle. You felt pretty confident about Brighton, and then a little nervous about Newcastle, given that at the time were they second or they were at least third still in the league. I can't quite remember, but they were right on Arsenal's heels. So let's break down the first game first. Arsenal wins 4-2 against Brighton. What did you see out there?
Uh, I thought we started out great. I thought we
Mm,
started out playing absolutely amazing. That first goal, while it was a deflection that ended up falling at Saka's feet, and that part was lucky, I do think that, I believe it was Thomas Partey who won the ball back immediately. Brighton was on a break. It was going to be like a 5-on-3. He steps up, wins the ball back. Immediately, we're back into the attacking zone. We had the numbers where you get the lucky bounce. So, in a way, we kind of created our own luck with that. I thought the Odegaard goal was amazing. It wasn't like a worldie, but it was exactly what you want from him at the top of the box, kind of looping it up and over and in. And then the second half happened. And while I don't think the second half was bad per se, the Eddie goal, that was a poacher's goal. We want him to be there, so I'm very happy about that. I did not like what I saw defensively. I didn't hate it. Brighton's a very good team. They followed up this match with a 4-1 victory over Everton. So they're a very good team, but saw some holes defensively.
yeah, but hey, take the points anyways. Keeps us top the league. All right, so against Newcastle, 0-0. Is that the correct way to say it? All
hmm
right, killing it so far, and then it ended in a draw. What's your big takeaway from this one? I know you said that there were some non-calls that you wanted to get to. Do you want to start off with those?
No, I wanna start off with how I thought the game started off,
Okay.
which was decent attacking. Started off very reminiscent of the Brighton.
Hmm.
However, Newcastle very quickly they did not park the bus, and I'm not trying to say that they did, but the way they played, it was very defensive minded. It was very hard fought. It was very scrappy from both sides. They played a very good version of bend, don't break defense, and it ended up working out for them. Thought as the game got on, especially the last 20 minutes, I was like, here we go. This is it. We're going to score. Everything's going to be great. That didn't end up happening. We had a pretty good attack on goal in the 35th minute. Gabrielle, Big Gabby, nice looping header over everybody going to the back corner. It ended up going wide. Joe Linton for them had a very similar kind of. It was right before halftime, and it was a corner, and it skipped off the first, or it was a cross, and it skipped off the first Newcastle player's head right to him. He got his head on it, but by the time he did, it was going wide. There's nothing he could do about it. Again, as the game went on, I thought we got better, but like Arteta said, we just lacked the final touch, the final pass, the final what have you. And I think a lot of that was how Newcastle played. Newcastle played a very defensive minded game. They shelled up a bit. I thought it showed a lot of respect for Arsenal's attack. Through most of the match, and expected goals won't say this, so maybe this is bias. But through most of the match, I thought Arsenal definitely looked like the better attacking team. And then we get to the two, sometimes three penalty shouts that probably should have happened. The first one, the big one, everyone's going to talk about the handball because the handball happened at the end and the handball had all the replays. Big Gabby was pulled down by his shirt in the box. I have no idea how this wasn't called a penalty. It is beyond me. His shirt was pulled so much you couldn't even see the front of his shirt anymore. It was pulled behind his back. And it's how is that not a penalty? And then the second one that everyone talks about is the handball. I I don't know if it was for sure handball, but I would want the ref to go look at it and make the decision himself. And VAR was just like, don't worry about it. And I think that's the biggest problem. Why do we have VAR if the Gabby thing is going to get missed? This is what VAR is supposed to fix. The handball got missed. This is what VAR is supposed to fix. And then at one point, Eddie got taken down. He had the guy over top of him and was taken down in the box. I don't know. The refereeing was not good this match. He was very inconsistent with yellow cards, which is another thing. And I mean this on both sides. The first Bruno Gamera's yellow card, I don't think that was a yellow card. I think he should have had one several plays earlier when Eddie just turned him and he took him down, and it was just, oh no, that's not a yellow card. That's barely even a foul, and then he gets a yellow card for what he did. Granit Xhaka deserved his yellow card. It's the first one he's gotten in a very long time. He had a great cardless streak going, and that's gone. But there was just a lot of inconsistency going back and forth with this ref. He never seemed to have control of the match. He was letting players get in his face a lot. I don't know. I will say this. This is my biggest takeaway from these two matches. These are two matches that we would have lost last year. We always lose a Brighton game away, definitely away. We definitely don't control the game as well as we did. And if we faced this Newcastle team last year, it would have been incredibly ugly. In fact, I don't think it was our last loss, but our last goalless game was against Newcastle last year. They know Eddie Howe's very good about lining up against us. He was very good in Bournemouth too. But this almost fills me with confidence.
Okay.
Both the way we played against Newcastle and the way Newcastle chose to play against us. They're a pretty informed side, the Leeds match notwithstanding. Miguel Almiron didn't really look like he was doing much of anything out there, and he was a world beater.
Mhm.
And it's because he was playing so deep so far, so deep for so much of the game. And the way that we attacked, the way that we were clinical, the way that we went about it, I thought was very good. I think what you did see was that we're still a little young. I think a lot of people are forgetting that because, we're top of the league, and through 16 matches, we had won 14 games, and look at how good we're playing, and all of that is true. But if we just had a little more of that mentality, not even mentality, but just experience, just a little bit more, I think that we come away with a 1-0 win here. So I'm feeling good because at the end of the day, Man City has Chelsea tomorrow as we record this. They have them on the 5th. Chelsea's in shambles right now. I expect Man City to win that match, and then we're back to 5 points ahead. We're right back to where we were before the Brighton match week happened. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been a really good run lately. Looking at the schedule now, so we got Oxford United coming up.
Oxford United, yes, that's in the FA Cup.
Yeah, so it says round 3 of the FA Cup. I know this is mostly Premier League, but do you have any opinions on that match?
Yes. What I'm most excited about, I expect a lot of squad rotation.
Okay.
What I'm mostly excited about is the rumors that Emile Smith-Rowe will be playing.
Okay.
That'll be one of his comeback games. That makes me very excited. I cannot wait for Emile Smith-Rowe. I'm not saying he would have been, but he could have been the difference in that Newcastle match. We've been waiting on him for a long time, but a different offensive outlet that we can use. He was playing very good before he went down with the injury. I'm very excited to have him back. Apart from that, it's the 3rd round of the FA Cup. I'm not going to pretend I don't like the FA Cup. I love the FA Cup. We've won the FA Cup more times than anybody. I love talking about that.
Right.
But it's Oxford United. I don't remember exactly which league they're in now, but they're not exactly the people that you're worried about. Let's see here. League 1. So they're 2 leagues below us. That being said, not saying we can't lose. We could totally lose.
Sure.
But yeah, very heavy rotation. I expect to see probably Lokonga, Elneny, Fabio Vieira. Eddie will probably end up having to play again. This is definitely a match Eddie would have been playing in anyway. But looking at what we have, he'll probably have to play. Holding will be in there. Tierney will start. Those kind of guys. And then the big one on the 15th. North London derby time again already.
Yeah, well, that was like one of our first episodes back in like September, right? We talked about it, and now we're here again.
Now we're here again, twice a year. Not Newcastle. I'm sorry. Tottenham is coming off a big win against Crystal Palace.
Mhm.
4-0 win today. I did not have a chance to watch the game. They were all second half goals. I'm not going to read into that. I'm just letting you know a little bit about it. Tottenham is a very inconsistent team right now. They're probably they're an underperforming team. Even with this 4-0 win, they're still underperforming. It's going to be interesting to see what Tottenham we get on the 15th.
Mhm.
We have historically in the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is not that old, so historically it's probably not the right word.
Right.
But we have not done well there.
Mhm.
In fact, the past several London derbies have been the home team wins. It's just
Right.
that kind of deal. I would love to go in there and get 3 points from them. That would
Mhm.
just God, that would make. I mean, it's 2023, and I think Arsenal's got big aspirations this year. But my God, that would like make my year.
Right.
And I'm more confident than I would have been. I am not going to sit here and say I'm confident. 3 points in the bag, forget
Right.
about it. But I'm pretty confident. The issue is going to be after that. That's going to be a scrappy game, and I'm not 100% sure where everyone is on yellow cards.
Mhm.
But you accumulate a certain amount of yellow cards in a certain time frame, and you get suspended for a match.
Right.
North London Derby is going to be scrappy, especially if we start winning. We pull ahead, it's going to start getting dirty.
Mhm.
Uh, and the match right after that is Manchester United, and I really don't want to have guys like Saka out because of yellow card accumulation. So
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tottenham Hotspur, Man United, Everton, and then Brentford are our next 4 matches. 3 of those teams are in the top. I mean, they're all in the top half of the table.
Mhm.
And
This is
Everton just
the
got done drawing Man City, so it's a difficult 4 game stretch.
this is the prove it stretch. You're like
Yep.
you've been doing so good. Now you need to like reinforce it.
Yeah, it feels like we never actually catch up. Everything feels to just be that prove it stretch.
Yep.
Again and again and again. And then here's the next 2 games, and then here's
Mhm.
the next 2 games, which I mean, Mikel Arteta said he was asked what he wants to do for 2023. And
Mhm.
his answer was, I want to win against Newcastle, and then I want to win against the next team. And obviously, we didn't get the win against Newcastle, but it's that one game at a time.
Yeah.
I'm a Patriots fan. You live in Massachusetts. You deal with it. It's that Bill Belichick. We're on to Cincinnati.
Yep.
You know, hopefully we're on to Buffalo, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Dolphins were cruising and then they had their prove it stretch and it did not go well. It
And
didn't prove
yeah,
anything.
well,
Uh,
I mean, it could have proved that Tua would probably be very good if he didn't have 3 concussions in 7 months.
right. Yeah, it proved that Brian should get his hopes up when it comes to football, if anything.
Yep.
But at least
In
Arsenal's
in
here.
yeah, at least Arsenal's here. Bruins are doing great. Celtics are
Yeah.
doing great.
Can't complain.
Last
The
little
rest
bit
of my
of
sports life, amazing. No
yeah, right.
complaints.
That's how I feel about the Sox. It's
Mhm.
like, oh man, Sox are bad, but everything else is great.
Right.
Last little bit of Arsenal news. Transfer time. We're in the January transfer window. Teams have till the end of January to improve their teams by purchasing players. Um, the Mikhail Mudrik thing is starting to look less and less likely. They just want too much money for him.
Okay.
The amount of money that they want for him, and he's publicly stated he wants to go for Arsenal. There was an Instagram post he said the other day. It's a lyric in a song, and I'm sorry guys, it's not the music I listen to. I know it was someone famous. The lyric in a song where he says, "And I still got to see Arsenal win the Premier League."
Mhm.
Mudrik posted that the day of I think the Brighton game.
Mm.
Like he's a big Arsenal fan. He's got ties with Zinchenko, I believe. Zinchenko plays for us. Whole 9 yards. Shakhtar Donetsk want more for him than we played for Martinelli and Saka and Odegaard combined. And he's played 30 games in the Ukrainian league, guys. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I think he's a very good player, and then hopefully we get him on a free in a couple years. But I don't know if we're getting him this year.
Mhm.
Yuri Tielemans isn't looking likely. Atletico want 12 or 13 million for a João Felix rental. I have full faith in Edu that he's going to do the right thing,
Mhm.
but I don't know what it is. So the answer right now, when you're looking for transfer news, is we don't know yet, guys. And quite frankly, it's not our fault. So,
Mhm.
but we're working on it. I'm sure we got stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah, and we'll report on it when it happens. Give all
Yep.
the hot takes. All right, plug, swing, and shins. What are you guys talking about this week?
This week we got 2 match days to cover. Almost. The Man City Chelsea game won't be over. Will be on the 5th. We're recording right after this, actually. But tons of stuff to go over. If I pull up the notes real quick, everyone dropped points but United, which is incredibly surprising because right now I think everyone would have said that United is the most likely team to drop points. Everton drew to Man City, which was huge for the title race. I don't understand how Everton, and it was in the Etihad. It doesn't make any sense how Everton managed to draw that. The Liverpool Leicester game, there were 2 own goals. We're going to get into some stats, maybe what's going wrong with Liverpool, just a whole bunch of stuff going on. That is a weekly podcast that I do with Aaron, who does the Villa on the Wicked Good Sports channel, which is the channel you're on, if you're confused.
This one.
Yeah, we do everything Premier League and just slightly less Aston Villa and Arsenal because we turn it up when we do these shows.
Right.
But it's great. You can find us on YouTube, and I still have to get us on Castbox, but everywhere else that Anchor can put podcasts, we're on. So
yes, it'll be also the top link in this description. After the description of the episode, go find it there. Subscribe, watch all of their. I mean, I guess you could watch all of them. It's a weekly podcast, though, so it's kind of what's happening in the week. But if you want to go back and listen to all of them, we're not going to complain about that. That is for sure.
Absolutely do that. We make a lot of predictions. See if we were right. See if we were wrong.
Right. And other than that, anything else you want to plug? Any social media?
No, for right now, I think that's it. I think we're all set.
Cool. You can follow me on Twitter at TheFakeBMar. This BMARR channel is on Twitter at Wicked Good Sport and WG Everything. Instagram, Wicked Good Everything and Wicked Good Sports. Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Everything. And on TikTok, search Wicked Good Sports. Search Wicked Good Everything. Rhett, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Brad.
We'll see you all in the next one.